Down. You can speak, Roxy. Feel free to speak.
And today was really good for me. Thank you.
Evan, how you feeling today, Evan?
I'm feeling good.
Great, great. Isaac, how you feeling, sir? Rima, Stephanie, Summer, feel free. How y'all feeling today? You can come off from mute.
I'm feeling good. I'm just on the road right now, so
Yes, understandable. Yes, Miss Rosie. You sure you're good? All right, great, great, great. All right, so again, welcome to the advanced course. Thank you so much. I know it's been a lot of material you've been learning, but great stuff, to advance your careers at an early age. So today we're going to be talking about sustaining cash flow. How many are familiar with the term cash flow? Anyone? No? All I see is blank stares. So what I would say is I want you to just to put your listening ears. This I want this to be like an interactive conversation, even though it's going to be very informative. But I want you to think of not just being a business owner, but also want you to think of just being a person who manage cash well. By show of hands, how many of you think you manage cash well now at your age? And be honest. Someone saying no. Good evening. Good evening. So. Okay. All right. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask this to Stephanie. Stephanie, when do you still, and I'm not sure if kids still get allowance. I don't want to tell my age, but are kids still getting allowance at this at this stage?
Some do. I don't.
Oh, you don't get allowance. All right. So if your parents give you money, right? How well, I mean, if your father gives you or your mom gives you $100 to last for the week, do you think you can manage $100 for the week and still have something left over?
Probably.
Probably. What do you think you'll be left over for the whole week?
I had less than $10 because stuff is expensive now.
Said less than 10. Well, hey, listen, at least you didn't say negative. That's great. Who was that? Someone said they got a job. They don't worry about cash flow.
At Rima.
Oh, Rima. Well, Rima, you still have to worry about cash flow. Oh, you say you don't get allowance. That's why you said that. Okay, I get it. All right. So we're going to talk about some things. And listen, I want you to feel free to please stop me, ask any questions. I want to make sure you understand this. I'm not trying to bore you with information, but I do want to educate you at the same time. Okay. So by all means, I'm going to share my screen right now. And if you have any questions, feel free. Okay. Just give me 1 second to share my screen. Let me know if you can see this. Is this clear? Can I get a thumbs up if you can see this on your screen?
Yes. You can see
Perfect.
it.
All right. So I already asked that question, right? So we're not going to go back into that. But so cash flow. Cash flow represents the movement of money in and out of your business. You're going to hear me saying the term business a lot, but I also want you, and the reason why I mentioned personal, I want you to think about yourself as well, how you manage your money. So money in and money out. When you hear that term, what do you think I'm saying money in? What is money in? Anybody? What's money in? What would be considered money in?
Revenue?
Revenue. Let's dig a little deeper than that.
Your income,
Your income. Yeah, that's definitely a form of money coming in. All right. And what's money out?
Spending money.
bills.
Bills. Yeah. What else? I mean, what else would money in? What else can you consider money in? What would be another way? You said revenue. I heard income. What else would it be? If you're a business owner, right? Think as a business owner. How do you get money coming in?
Sales?
Say it again.
Sales?
Yes, sales. Absolutely. So generating sales. So this is very, very important. Now, this is going to help you even at a young age. I promise you. I think after this conversation, Stephanie, you'll have more than $10 at the end of the week. All right, if you get $100. All right. Um, and don't quote me if, in saying that Mr. Leon said you're supposed to give me $100. So I will deny it. No, but seriously, one of the the things, and I'm fortunate. I'm a business relationship manager, so I work with a lot of business clients. One of the key things I have to do, I have to teach and sometimes educate clients as far as how to maintain that cash flow. And but it's a difficult thing, but it's doable. All right, because you can't control how clients pay you, but you can find tools and find ways to how to get paid faster, how to acquire cash faster, and this is what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So cash flow is a measurement of the amount of cash that comes into and out of your business in a particular period of time. So Roxy mentioned sales. So let me ask you a question, Roxy. Um, do you think that businesses always have a high peak season with sales, or is there a slow season for sales?
I think that it's both. I think that both can happen.
Both can happen, right? So what do you think a business would do? What would a business owner do if they're having a slow season?
I think that's when they give their discounts.
Yes, discounts. So you see those BOGO deals, buy one get one free. That's just it's not because they so happy to give you free items. They're trying to generate more income. All right. So that's a great answer, Roxy. All right. So there are three types of cash flow. You have operational, investment, and financing. So I want you to remember these terms because you do have to take, these little quizzes at the end of this course. Okay. I mean, of this class. So operational, investment, and financing. We think operational cash flow is. And I would love participation from everybody. If you all can participate, you can throw it in the chat or you can come off and mute. I would love to hear your voices though.
Is that like automatic, operational?
What do you mean automatic? Give me an example. What do you mean?
Like if you have a stable job, you get the consistent amount of money coming in, but if you have bills to pay, you have the consistent amount of money coming out.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. And what about investment cash flow? What is that?
Like basically money used to buy or sell long-term assets, something.
So, yeah. So I'll take that as well. All right. And what about financing? We're gonna do a little digging in it, but I'll take that answer. What about financing cash flow? What is that?
Maybe like loans or debt, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So, most business owners don't like going into that, but a smart business owner, to keep cash flowing, you use different tools. So I don't want to go too far into it, but there's terms such as like business line of credit. Have you heard that before? Business loans, business line of credit. These are different tools that banks offer to business clients to help generate cash flow. So, for example, if you have a staff of like say of 20 people that you're paying and it's a slow season, as I was mentioning to Roxy, what can I do to make sure that these that my staff is still getting paid? So I would try to borrow like a line of credit, and a line of credit is normally a short-term product that you use to help support payroll and also your accounts receivables. Okay. So I love these answers though. So a wise person said revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is reality. So I want you to look at the screen, okay? Isaac, where you at? I need to hear your voice, Isaac. And when you see this quote, what comes to your mind? Are you there, Isaac?
Yellow.
Yeah. I want you to look at the screen. It says a wise person once said revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is reality. What comes to your mind when you hear that quote?
Um, last person wants I don't know. It's just I guess that he sees money like as um. I really don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you. That's an honest answer. Kimberly, what do you think? What do you think this quote means? I don't think it's like a right and wrong answer. It's really based on how you interpret it. Are you there, Kimberly? Can you come off on mute?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I think that it means that that like your revenue or like your income is like your pridefulness, like what you're most proud of, and then your profit is what keeps you sane, and then your cash is like the end outcome and is like the reality of what you've been putting your work into.
I like how you said. I like what you said. You said revenue is Vanek is pride. So I like that term. There is a sense of pride, right? When if you're doing well in business, you're generating income and or revenue, I should say. Yeah, you do have a sense of pride. But cash is reality. So basically, you can't control what you can't control, right? But what you can control is how you generate cash, and that's why I mentioned early in the beginning, all right, of this class. You don't know if a business, or a person that you're dealing with is going to either lose their job, or if you're dealing with other businesses, if they're going to run out of cash. So you can't control that. But what are you doing for yourself to make sure that you stay afloat? And that's very, very important. Okay. So money coming in, money coming out. We talked about that. Now, one of the things that I want to stress. All right, let's go to the next point. Oh, that's not break time yet. That's too soon. The next thing I want to talk about is really it's like three buckets. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about is spending, saving, and giving. Now, if we all be honest, how well do we save on this line? Do we save money well? If we be honest.
In the chat, Professor Leon,
Mhm.
Summer and Ivy, it says like a how a business is like how operate. The revenue is going in and the profit is your increase after spending, and cash is the last as you're going to use it.
Yeah, I like that answer too.
And your
Very
profit
good.
is what you need to be valued a lot.
Correct. 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 Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Evan, do you think you save money well for future goals? Like, do you have any future goals where you find yourself saving?
Um, so I'm trying to save, like I'm trying to start like saving for a car. So I think I'm saving like pretty well because like birthday money, like Christmas money, I put like more than half of it away, like in a savings account. And
So
then
how you
also,
how you disciplining yourself? Like, how do you discipline yourself? Like, maybe share that with the class. Maybe it can help somebody. How are you doing that to stay disciplined?
well, I feel like most of the money I get, I really don't need to spend it because like my parents kind of like give me most of it. So
Mm,
any money that I would have to spend would mostly be on wants. So I would just make sure like I don't spend money on them.
right.
And if I like want something, I'll probably just wait till like a birthday or Christmas to like ask for it instead of trying to use my own money.
I like that. So you're utilizing your resources. That's a way of generating cash flow, right? So I love that. Yeah. What about you, Caroline?
Um, I I tend to save money a lot. I don't like spending, or at least my own.
Mhm.
But if my parents like give me like maybe an allowance or something, or like for a special occasion, then I'll put some to the side and then like kind of give myself a budget.
I love it. I want to share some with you. This is a true story. So when I was 19 or 20, I had an opportunity to like travel outside the country. But when you're 19 and you're not really getting a whole lot of money, I saw the price of a ticket to go to an like a international country and the plane and the hotel, and I got scared because I didn't have that type of money. I didn't know that they had options to pay, maybe 6 months before until you can get to the place to visit. I thought that you had to have that money up front. Um, so what I'm saying is that when you save, you have to have like great discipline, but you have to have also be intentional with what you're doing. Like have a goal in mind, and you want to make sure that you stick to that goal. You're gonna have temptations. You're gonna see the latest Jordans. I don't know if people are still wearing Jordans. Uh, Someone's laughing, but I think Jordans is still popular, right? I don't know what's the popular sneaker now. I go with my nephews sometimes, and they tell me that my style is corny because I'm still wearing I call them white ups, the Nikes with the check mark, but that's besides the point. You get tempted, right? You get tempted when it comes down with spending. So um There's a difference between needs and wants. What is the difference between a need and a want? Anybody?
A need is something you need to like live, and
Give
then
me
a
an
want is
example
just
of a need.
desire.
Give me an example
A
of a
need,
need. Yeah.
water, shelter, food, and then a
Yeah.
want is just something that you can live without.
Okay. And what can you live without, Roxy?
A phone, tablet, electronics.
You can live without a phone and a tablet in this generation?
I could technically, but it doesn't mean I'd be happy, but I could.
I was miserable. My wife and I went to Jamaica for our honeymoon, and I lost my phone the day that we got to Jamaica. And not that I was miserable because it was a honeymoon. So let me take that back. My wife is on the line. I don't want to get in trouble. I was not miserable. I was happy, but it was a little weird not having a cell phone. But I would say about like day two or day three, I got accustomed to not having it. I didn't realize how much of a I won't say it's a burden, but you can get stuck, relying on things, electronics. So I agree. We can definitely live without, phones, but need would be like Roxy said, food, water, shelter. Um, are anyone on this line investing right now, like on a small scale, like Robin Hood or anything like that, or their parents investing for them? Anybody? No. So investing is definitely another way. It's a powerful mindset. When you get of age, obviously, savings is a great tool, but eventually, and this is not my class, but Miss C's um, husband will be talking about that, right? Investing is a great tool, to a way to earn cash flow, all right, to protect yourself, to protect your assets. Okay. Are there any questions right now? Any questions? Any comments?
Rima says she's been researching.
Okay. Well, I wish I could speak with her. So what have you found out in regards to investing, Rima? And does it scare you? And actually, that's a question for the class. Does money scare you at all? Like having money or not having it, does it scare you? Like having this type of conversation, does it scare you?
What I researched was like I was researching on like not even like where to invest. It's just like how to invest. It was talking about like allocating your resources. And I was just like, allocating my resources. My resources, my money. So I was like, my money is already being allocated to places. So how am I gonna like cut back on stuff to put in investment? Or if I wanna take from my savings and put like because I do 20% saving. So I was
Yeah.
wondering if like I should do 10% investment.
Are we breaking up a little bit? I think we're losing you, Rima. But I did get
You losing me?
a little bit. Yeah, we were losing you. I did get the gist of it though.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I know you're traveling,
Yep.
so forgive us.
Yeah.
All right. But Isaac, you say you're not scared of money. Why are you not scared of money, Isaac? You got a smile on your face when I said that. Why are you not scared of money?
I'm not scared of money cause why would I be scared of money? Like money is like you need money in life.
True.
And, like that's it's not something to be scared of.
Okay. So you felt like when you get into the real world, you can handle bills with no problems.
Yeah, like if I got a stable job, like I
You
got
said
like
you said if. So that
yeah.
word is scary right there. If I
When
have
like when okay when I got a
okay,
stable job.
there you go. When I have a stable job,
Yeah.
like
Then,
you can handle your business, right?
yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone does cash flow make anybody nervous?
It definitely makes me nervous.
It doesn't. Why is that?
For me, I said it does.
Oh, it does. What?
Hmm.
Why does it make you nervous, Roxy?
Well, for one, everyone in my family knows I'm definitely an impulse buyer. If you give me $20, I'm gonna spend it somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm gonna spend it. And
Right.
then also just the like if you're looking for something, you're never actually gonna find the best thing that's for you. Everything is always advertising themselves as like we're the best sale or we're the best offer, we're the best thing around. And the only really way to figure out what works is to make mistakes. But it
Right.
means having great loss, but in the end, like the long term, you'll have the that investment. But it takes losing money to really get money in the end.
True. You know, being a business owner, just being a grown up, I'm gonna just say a grown up. At 18, you already have responsibilities, when you get to that age. Um, it could be nerve-wracking, but I like what you said. You said that, and I think Isaac said it as well. You don't have to be afraid of money, but you also should know what your challenges are. I don't want to use the word weakness. So let's say that if you are impulsive as far as buying, that means that that's something that you already acknowledge that you may need to work on. And that's what business owners do. They do an assessment. They don't just hire people to do it for themselves, but they also do an assessment on themselves as well. Like, what do I need to work on to avoid not having cash, right? So if I'm an impulse buyer or I'm not buying the best deals, I'm not getting the best from my dollar, then I got to find ways to offset that. And how do you do that? So they have like different terminologies. One is called positive cash flow and negative cash flow. So money that you are left off with, that's considered positive cash flow. There's nothing wrong, with buying yourself something nice. But at the end of the day, are you broke after you bought it, or do you have something left off after saving? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Evan mentioned that he's trying to get a car. Is that right?
Yeah, like trying to save up for one.
So do you feel like, once you get this car, are you feel like you're gonna be dead broke, or do you feel like you gotta start over again, or you feel like you might have something left over even after buying this car?
I feel like I might have something left over because I would probably like want to like save like the most amount, but then still try to find like a good deal on a car.
Yeah, true. I think I think a smart way of doing that for anything, I would say, is just staying within your budget. Budgeting is not an easy task, but it saves you a lot of headache, um and also saves you some time as well. Okay. So we talked about the difference between needs and wants, so I love the answers that we had on that. Now, does anyone on this line pay any bills currently, like a cell phone bill? I'm getting smirks, but I'm not sure. Does anyone pay any bills on this line? I know some people have jobs in here. So no. So all y'all have everything for free? Wow. I miss those days.
Rima said in the chat that she pays car insurance.
Oh, car insurance. Okay. Now, I think what I want to stress out with cash flow is that you have to find like unique ways to attract talent as well. Okay. Cash flow is not something that you control, but you got to find unique ways to attract talent. Um, if I think what kind of business do you want to have, Roxy? You're on mute.
I'm sorry, my mom walked in. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. No, I said, what kind of business do you want to have?
I'm trying to start a nonprofit.
A nonprofit. Okay. So what do you think what would be like something unique for you to attract income to come to this nonprofit? How you would stand out amongst all the other nonprofits?
For my nonprofit, I would want to offer more than just volunteer hours or just giving out to the community. Well, I would want to offer volunteer hours, but I'd want to be able to look out to the youth and give them opportunities to have leadership roles so that they're
Mm,
able to like know what it is like to have responsibilities where they are looked upon, where they are relied on, rather
right.
than where they are given a title. Because I find all that really common in a lot of like youth programs. You get this title, but then you do nothing with it, or you're overly relied on for a very short period of time, and then you're kind of let go like it's nothing. And I would
Right.
want to change.
So you say you want to change that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like that. Okay. Who else? I'm going. I have to scroll through. I don't see everybody on here. I haven't heard from. Is it Nabahi? That's it, right? Nabaha? Excuse me.
No, it's Nabiha.
Iha. Excuse me. My apologies.
Yeah.
So what kind of business do you want to have?
Tutoring business.
Tutoring. Oh wow. So what do you What do you specialize in? What do you do?
Um, it is engineering and algebra to 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay. So what do you think would be something that would be unique for you to attract talent in order to so for you can attract cash coming to the business? What do you have to do to stand out?
Maybe like go to school events and hand out posters or do like a charity event or maybe yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Something like that. Okay. And do you feel confident, like not only with your skill set, but you feel confident that the business can attract like, these students that you're looking for? The
Yeah, 100%.
100%, right? Excellent. I like that. That's the confident answer. 100%. I love it. Kimberly, what about you? For business, what are you trying to do?
I want to do something like law firm related.
Okay. Do you want to work for the government or you want to represent client like any specific area in law?
I want to do um, prosecution.
Prosecution. Okay. So lawyers make a lot of money. I'll say that much. Um, they make a lot of cash. So a lot of them do invest, and they do a lot of marketing because it's very competitive, right? So I guess you have to find ways to market to make sure you stand out, right? To attract these clients that you're going to be representing. So I like that. Okay. Evan, what about yourself, sir? What are you going to be doing for business? I think you're on mute. Right? I think you might. I'm not sure you can hear me. Caroline,
Um, I don't like really want a business.
what do you want? So, what do you want to do as far as career wise?
I want to work in the medical field,
As a doctor, or like, what do you want
like
to
a
do?
registered nurse.
Registered nurse. Um, so registered nurse make great money as well. Like, what do you think you will have to do in order to make like great money as a registered nurse?
Um, well, definitely like go to college and get your degrees.
Hmm. And like certifications, right? The more certifications you have, the more that's more you can add as far as like your tax bracket. So, okay, great. Stephanie Sanchez. And we also have Summer. If you can talk, if I'm not seeing the chat, just let me know because I'm not sure if some of you are texting. But Stephanie, is she eating? All right, Isaac, what about yourself, sir? I know you say you want to. I know you mentioned like water business, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's what.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of business.
How would you attract your client to get that cash going for the business?
By running ads,
You try to get who you utilize. Will you use athletes? Like what will you use?
yeah. Like, yeah, I'll use athletes. You know, yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, so
In the chat,
uh,
excuse me, sorry, Professor Leon, in the chat, Summer said, I want to open a lab, and Ivy says, I want to run a hair care business or a real estate firm.
oh
Evie,
wow,
sorry, Evie, my fault. I apologize, Evie, for pronouncing that.
yeah. Both careers, both of those options are great actually. So I mean, you guys have an idea, you know what I mean? I think, you know, anything is possible, you know what I mean? And the reason why I asked the question, are you afraid of cash or are you afraid of, bills? Because that's reality. You know, when it says cash is reality, when you think about cash, it's not about only what you're receiving, but also what you have to pay out. So when you're a business owner, you have expenses that you have to pay. You know, it's not just generating the cash. You also have expenses you have to pay. So these things you shouldn't be afraid of. It's helping to bring more clientele to you, right? So you pay, you invest, but you also will receive at the same time. Okay. Any questions for me?
Roxy has her hand up.
Yes, Roxy.
I kind of have like a broad question because I like keep on hearing like a mix of everything when it comes to like starting like building to your career at a certain age. Because to some people, they view focusing on education as your way of building to
Hmm.
your career, but other people think that it's getting a job and getting a car at like 16, 17, around that age. Like, which is like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, which is actually taking a step forward? Because to some people, like right now, I don't have a car, I don't have a job, but I focus a lot on my education. I focus a lot on programs that I'm in. To
Sure.
some people, I'm a step ahead, but to other people, I'm a step behind. And like, especially when it comes to investing, like, I guess I'm like really confused.
So I'll say this. I mean, there's no direct answer for it. It's really based on what your preference is. That's why I said, like, if you have like set goals, you don't live for anyone else, right, Roxy? Like, whatever makes you happy, that's what you're doing. And if you're being successful in doing that, success is not only defined by a dollar, it's also based on how you are accomplishing your goals, right? So I think education works hand in hand with whatever the goals are, with one day getting a car, right? If you do want to get a car or whatever you want to do monetarily wise, it goes hand in hand. I will always encourage education, I remember hearing kids when I was in school asking the teachers, like, why do we have to study this type of math? Like, I'm not going to use this type of math in the real world, or why we have to study this particular subjects. But in reality, it's just it makes you more well-rounded. Be able to have a conversation, because maybe one day in your business you may interact with people in those areas that want to invest in you, and because you have a common knowledge of that, you can actually articulate yourself really well. So education definitely works hand in hand. I won't say it's a step behind or a step forward. I think is you're moving in the right direction. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So before we take a break, I want to do a quick game. So I want you to take out a piece of paper real quick, okay? So just let me know. Put your thumbs up when you have a piece of paper handy and a pen and a pencil. All right. We all the thumbs up? We good? All right. Real quick. All right. So if you make $5,000 per month, all right. This is a rhetorical question. I'm gonna ask you to answer this, but are you rich? I'm gonna give you I'm gonna just give you a scenario. Okay. So you just again write the number $5,000. Okay, the amount, excuse me, $5,000. Now, I want you to write this down. Your rent is $1,800. Okay. Your expenses for your car is $600. Okay. Your food is $500. Your phone is $120. Insurance is $300. Subscriptions, well, the Netflix, Google, Facebook ads, Google Suites is $150. Gas for your vehicle is $250. And entertainment is $400. So these are your monthly expenses. Okay.
What was entertainment again?
$400. Can someone tally that up for me and tell me what they get? And what are you left with?
4,120.
Now, so what are you left with?
880. Cause like
Sure. Because everybody should have the same answer. Look at the chat. So Rima said 880. I think that's what Nabiha said as well.
And,
880.
and
Yep.
Summer and Evie say 780.
780. Okay. I was moving too fast. I apologize. All right. So did everyone get the same answer? Evan, what's your answer, Evan?
I got 880.
Okay. Roxy,
880.
Stephanie,
880.
okay. Isaac, what'd you get?
Yeah, I got the same.
Okay. Kimberly, what you got?
880.
Okay. Caroline,
I also got 880.
excellent. So question, does it make you rich if you have money left over?
Depends on your goal, but no, it doesn't.
So I mean this now mind you, 5,000. I'm not saying it's a low dollar amount, but anything that you have left over is actually great. Okay. That's considered positive. So you didn't end up with a negative. If you would have ended in negative, that means that you didn't have enough to compensate with what you were trying to do, like your monthly expenses. So $5,000 for the month that you receive and all of your expenses, once you subtract all of that and you have left over $800, that's money that you can use. I think somebody is saving for a car, right? Or you being very careful of how much you're spending. You can kind of budget yourself and, you know what I mean? Figure out how you want to utilize those funds. So I won't say that you're rich, but if it was 5 million, 500 million, just think about that. It'll be the same concept. You have something left over. Okay. So we're gonna take a let's see, should it be a 10-minute break?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break and we'll be right back, okay?
So 724, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen.
All right. Welcome back, class. I need you to turn your cameras back on for me. Welcome back, welcome back. Hopefully you grab a quick snack real quick. All right. Perfect. All right. All right. So I want to show you a quick video um talking about cash flow. Okay. So I'm not sure if anyone familiar with the Cosby show, but it has a very interesting message. All right. And also a lesson behind it. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and let me know if you can see. Give me 1 second here. Everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
$300 a week, $1,200 a month. All right?
Great, I'll take it.
Yes, you will. And I will take $350 for taxes.
Whoa.
Huh? Yeah. Now, because, see, the government comes for the regular people first. Now, how much does that leave you with?
$850.
All right. Now, you've got to have an apartment because you are not going to live here. So, an apartment in Manhattan will run you at least $400 a month.
I'll live in New Jersey.
All right. You live in New Jersey, you've got to have a car.
I'll ride a motorbike.
You need a helmet. Figure $100 a month for clothes and shoes.
Figure 200. I want to look good.
Okay, so what does that leave you with?
$200. So, no problem.
There is a problem. You haven't eaten yet.
I can get by on bologna and cereal. So, I got everything I need, plus $200 left for the month.
You plan to have a girlfriend?
For sure.
All right, let me stop sharing. So I just wanted to show you a quick video of that. It's a funny clip on the Cosby Show, but it really depicts, and something, to be honest with you, like what it is about cash flow. How sometimes we take things for granted, or we think we know what we're doing, and we don't realize that even on a personal level, we can make the wrong decisions when it comes out with cash. Okay, so we're gonna move on with our lesson. Let me share my screen here. Can you see my screen still?
No screen showing right now.
Give me 1 second. Got too many pop-ups right now. I gotta make this smaller here.
We can't find apartments at those prices anymore now.
I know.
Definitely not in New York, not even in New Jersey.
You can't even find a room. I mean,
There you go. Yeah.
And have utilities included.
Right.
All right, here we go. Are we good? We can see that now?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So steps to managing cash flow. We have to stay on top of your bookkeeping. It's the single best way to understand all the financial transactions in your business, and you can't do the rest of the steps without it. So you have to budget. Budgeting is so important in order to be successful in business. I'm gonna tell you right now, I work with business owners. I have 170 clients that I manage, and they range between, some have like maybe 2,000 to close to like $30 million. Each one of them, they know what's going in and out of their business. Although they have accountants that they hired, they have CPAs, different things of that nature. But a successful business owner, a successful person knows what's going in and out their accounts. Okay, so not just a business owner. If you just want to be a person that's working as a traveling nurse, you got to know what's going in and what's coming out. Okay. So point 2 says that you have to generate cash flow statements. If you have any accountant, they can do this for you. Otherwise, you can use software or calculate it yourself by using a spreadsheet. So we're going to work on a quick challenge. Okay, excuse me. Oh, there you go. So I want you to take out a piece of paper here. Okay. Actually, no paper. We're gonna work this together. Okay. We have a challenge that's gonna be coming up. So I want us to work this together. So I want you to see this cash flow statement. All right. It's called Big Tex Mechanical Bull Rental and Servicing. This is the name of the business. So their net income is $12,000. Does anyone know what depreciation is, or have I heard that terminology before? Depreciation?
Like when something goes down in value.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, for example, if you buy, let's say I'm a construction owner and I have these different trucks that I use. If I purchase it at $20,000, every year the value of that truck goes down. Even though it's still workable, right? I still utilize it, but it's not as valuable as the years continue. So by year five, when you think about it, I spent 20,000 is no longer considered valuable, but that's what depreciation is. But it gives you an opportunity to add that cash to your cash flow because it's considered valuable. All right. The next point here is you have an increase in accounts payable. What is accounts payable? What's accounts payable? Look. I want you to look at the word and just maybe take a guess. Accounts payable. 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 Pay. No. So this basically that's money you have to pay. So like your vendors, your expenses, that's what accounts payable is. Okay. So anything that's leaving out. We talk about money going in and money coming out. And then what is accounts receivable? What would that be considered?
Where it comes in.
All right. And then you have your net cash from operations. Okay. And then we have here also purchase of equipment, which is 2,000, and notes payable. Someone said something about financing. They mentioned loans or lines or finding ways to like generate cash flow. And I forgot who that was, but someone mentioned that early in the class. So this is notes payable. This person, what they did was they apply for like additional capital. And because they apply for it, even though they are borrowing the money, that's money that's going into the business so they can utilize it. So it's actually a positive thing for them. Okay. So when you see notes payable or financing, that's we're talking about lines of credit and we're talking about loans. Okay. So the cash flow of this date they're showing us here is $15,000 once we tally everything here. Okay. This is just a clear example of a balance sheet of a person who's budgeting. This is what they look at as far as what is going into the business and what's coming out of the business. This you have to give this every time. So when you're doing like a loan application, sometimes we ask for your cash flow statement, okay? And this is what you have to generate for us, okay? And any questions in regard to this example here? Any questions? Does it look confusing? You can be honest. No? All right. So you have to analyze your cash flow, take information from your cash flow statement and make it and excuse me, statement and use it to understand how money is moving through your business. Figure out whether you need to increase your cash flow, relying on your credit cards and line of credit to make ends meet. That means that's signs that you need to free up more cash. Um, and when I mean free up more cash, meaning that instead of if you have $3,000 in cash in your account, right? And you have a credit card that has a limit of maybe $1,500. Normally, when you make purchases, you use your debit card and cash is coming out. So to free up the cash, it means you can utilize your credit card. It gives you an additional a month or two to pay that balance down, and you leave cash in the account for something greater. You may have a greater expense, or you need to do it like a larger purchase, and maybe you want to use that cash for something else. So that's what means freeing up the cash, not utilizing what you have because you may need to use it for something else. Okay. Cut spending where you need to. Overspending cash can result either from recovering unnecessary expenses or paying expenses at unstrategic times. Okay. Cut overspending to increase cash flow. So now this is what we're going to be working on. So I need, how many do we have in the class, Ms. C? We're going to do a breakout room.
Looks like 12.
Okay, so we have 12. So we can divide it into groups of what? Four? I mean, three or four? Groups of four?
No, it's 9. I'm sorry. I see
Oh,
9.
nine.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, so
sorry.
we'll do three groups of three. Okay. I want you to copy this down because you're gonna be working this together. All right. So this is a t-shirt business. It's giving us everything we need here. So $5 it costs per t-shirt. All right. And then there's $100 for a website that allows you to sell your t-shirts. And then it's $50 a month in advertising, $200 with your starting capital raised. Okay. So these are different things you have to pay attention to. So you need to figure out what money you have going out, what money you have coming in. And here's the scenario. So let's assume you sell 50 t-shirts in your first month at $6 each. What would your cash flow look like? Okay. So I gave you the example on the other slide. Money coming in, money coming out. You just need to find out what the difference is, and that's what you're left off with. Okay. So did everybody write this down? You're gonna be working together in teams and doing this, okay? So just send me a dumb emoji if you've written this down and you're ready to go into the breakout room. All right. So Miss C,
They're opened. You
perfect. All right. So
guys,
I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna give you guys 8 minutes to work on this, okay? So start joining into these breakout rooms. And please work together, all right?
Summer and Evie, do you see it's asking you to join? Nabia, something should show up that should ask you to join the room.
Yeah, nothing is showing up.
Okay. All right. Give me one chance. I'll move you in there. Just give me one chance, please. I'll move you back though. Maybe the 2, 3. Okay, I'll add you in, Summer and Evie.
Like team one and team five.
Room 1 had Roxy, Stephanie, and Caroline.
Perfect. All right, so we'll start with them. So Roxy, Stephanie, and Caroline, whoever, you all can come off of mute, or whoever's gonna represent the team can come off of mute. And just let me know what you got your answer. And just explain how you got your answer as well. Okay.
So for group 1, we got confused whenever we added the starting capital raised to the $300 that you get after you do 50 times 6 for the 50 t-shirts in 1 month for $6 each. So when you do that, you get $300. And if you add up all of the expensive, the $5 cost per t-shirt, the 100 website, the $50 in advertising, and the 200 for starting capital raise. That's just the part where we didn't know whenever we add that to the 300 or whenever we deduct that. But for either way, we got, if we started off with 300 and took away 345, we would get negative 55, and then we would get negative 45. And then if we started off with 500 and took away 155, we would have ended up with 345.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Roxy. All right, next group, room two. Who was on that team?
Evan, Isaac, and Rima.
All right. So Evan or Isaac, I know Rima is traveling. So anyone? Just let me know what answer you got and how you worked it. One of y'all got to come off of mute. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot.
All right, so after selling 50 t-shirts, we ended up like we ended off the month with $100.
So
But
everyone
we
else
took
took
a
out.
hundred. Yeah, but we had took $100. Like it was a loss overall.
Okay. So what was your final answer?
Profit. We took we took a loss of $100 basically.
Okay.
But
So you have anything left over, or are you saying that
yeah,
you have?
yeah.
So
It
what's
was a
left
hundred.
over?
It was 100.
Okay.
100. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the last team.
Kimberly, Evie, and Abiha.
Hello. So, um, we we at the end of the month we only had 100 remaining. So we made like first we started off with the 300 and then the cost to make the thing, which was the 50 times 5, which was 250. The website is $100. The website the to advertise was like 50. And when I added that, I got 400. And then when I subtracted it, I got 100.
All right. So whoever got 100 is correct. Okay. That's
Mm.
correct. So to answer, I think Roxy mentioned as far as the capital raise. So I just wanted to remind you. So anytime, even though um, it appears to be like a cost when you're raising capital, if that money is being deposited into your account, that's considered, at adding money. So you're actually receiving that funds. Okay. So the math that you did right was, all you guys did were right as far as multiplying the 50 t-shirts times $6 each. So that's how you got that $300. And then I don't have to go through all of it, but you got the math right. Okay. So the cost of each shirt was $5. And you have to minus, so you subtracting anything that's considered a cost. So the cost for the t-shirts, the website is going to be a cost, monthly advertising, that's a cost. So the only thing that you really profited was from the selling of the shirts and also the capital that you raised. Okay. Are any questions in regards to this practice? Was it a little challenging, or was it easy for some?
It was a bit challenging at first because when I did it, I don't know what happened, but then I
Mhm.
had end up with like $50. I'm not sure, but I had to do it over.
Right. I've heard the answer $50 before too, so definitely heard that answer before. So definitely understand that. But I just love the transparency. That capital raised can be a little tricky. Okay. And here's one last question for the class. All right. So I want you to look at this sheet again. So did they make any profit off of the T-shirt? And can someone tell me what would be that profit per shirt? Okay. So look at what the cost of the shirt is and what they were selling the shirt for. So look at the cost of the shirt. So it's $5 cost per T-shirt, but they were selling a T-shirts for $6. So what were they profiting per shirt?
They profit $1 per shirt.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So every dime, every penny counts. If you're making a profit of anything, it really does count. So good job, everybody. So give yourself a round of applause. Okay. I know it wasn't easy, but I'm glad you worked as a team. Okay. So let's move on. So speed up your accounts receivables, whether you're waiting on invoice payments from clients or deposits from payments processors, which is like your credit card machines. The faster you get your money in your pocket, the more cash flow you have. Okay, so we was talking about different ways. So these are different ways that you can increase your cash flow to get money faster. So if you have credit card processing, when you go to these different stores and you use your debit card to make purchases, those stores are receiving your cash, if not the same day, at least by the next business day. Okay, and that's what helps them generate more cash flow and stay afloat. All right, and point seven says you have to rinse and repeat. So after you analyze your statement regularly and you have this routine, you want to do this every single time. So this is not something that you just do once a day. It's not something you just do every now and then. You're constantly going through what's going in and what's going out. And I'm gonna stress again, you're doing the same thing with your personal funds as well. You're constantly looking at that. I can't tell you the number of times I'm looking at my Chase app and looking at all the bills that I'm paying and everything that's coming in. I do that every single day. Okay. Any questions? Everybody's good? All right. So we're almost done here. We're gonna talk about cash flow quadrant. Okay. So everyone know who LeBron James is. I don't want to get in a conversation about who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan. I'll leave that conversation for another time. Okay. But we're gonna talk about something, these 4 points here. Employee, business owner, self-employed, and investor. Okay. So as an employee, you're trading your time for money. Okay. And let me zoom a little bit so I can see everything here. You have a job and someone is paying your salary. So as an athlete, um, you're only an employee as long as you perform. Let's just use an example of LeBron James. So LeBron James is such a great player. He's phenomenal, and everyone lists him as number one, but he's only as good as long as he performs. If he's no longer performing, then he has to find a different way. Okay. And you can't play basketball forever. All right. So you're not going to be an employee forever. So, sadly, you have to find other ways, other means to make sure that you have cash flow still flowing for you. Okay. So, just a great example here. Now, as a business owner, you own a system that works for you. So, as a business owner, you own a process and you have people that work for you. So, LeBron James, he owns Spring Hill Company. All right. It's a business that has over 100 employees. And ultimately, he's making money for people working for him. Okay. So that's a business owner. So an employee, you're working for somebody, a business owner, people are working for you. Lastly, here, self-employed. We have two more points actually. So as someone who is self-employed, you own a job and an amount of active work will determine your income. So if you're being very consistent with working, finding opportunities, it will determine the amount of income you will receive. So LeBron James is a self-employed as his own entity LeBron James is self-employed as his own entity when you think about it from the standpoint of his work as a endorser and brand ambassador, whether it's speaking engagements, actor, or personal work, his income is dependent on his activity. So that's why I mentioned early in the class, I said, what do you think you're going to do if you're a business owner or if you're an employee? What are the activities you're going to do to make sure that you generate income coming in? All right. That's very, very important. It's all about the activities, the behaviors, being disciplined. Um, I love hearing that Evan is saving for a car at such a young age. I wasn't thinking about saving for a car at that age. I was thinking about all the sneakers I can buy and all the clothes I can buy at certain dollars and being broke, but having a car that can be beneficial at some point, right? Even for work wise. So having that discipline, having those behaviors. Now, an investor, invest your money that works for you. So now if you own investments, you let your money work for you. Roxy had a question about investments, right? Early in the class. So LeBron James is an active investor and unfortunately have made a couple of good investments such as Liverpool FC and Blaze Pizza. So when you invest, um, you take a portion of your money. You don't take all of your money. I want you to hear me clearly. All right. When you're investing, you take in money after you already calculated all your expenses. You calculated everything that's going out. Whatever is left over, you take a portion of that and you use that to invest in something that can be beneficial towards you, that can make money for you. And only you can determine that. I'm not going to tell you what you should invest in, but you should definitely do more research, as Remo said she was doing. You find something that you're interested in, and then you invest in it. Investments do have capabilities of making you a lot of money, and then also have volatility, meaning that sometimes the value of your money may drop. But you don't allow that to kind of determine how your cash is going to work for you. You have the opportunity to kind of switch up how you want to invest. Okay. But in this case, there's four different ways that we've seen. So you are either an employee, you're a business owner, you're self-employed, or you have money working for you. Any questions for me in regards to that? Okay. Now we got 15 minutes. I think we'll be able to stop by 8:10 to give you guys some time to take care of all of the administrative portion of it. There's a game that I want to play with you guys, so I'm gonna need your help. All right. So I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to need everyone's participation if possible. Okay. So let me just set this up real quick. Just give me a second here. Share my screen again. All right. Can everyone see this here?
Yes. It's just
Okay.
not in present view.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
I said you can see it.
Okay, we can see it. Okay, great. All right. So this is a game. It's called Cashflow. Obviously, like the terminology, but this is from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Is a free game that you can actually you can utilize this for yourself. Just kind of get an idea how to operate, using cash and how to budget, and then also just kind of playing around to see how money going out, money coming in as well, and how you can benefit from what you can use, what's considered a need and what's a want. Okay. So with this game, I want to read the scenario here. So we're SOAR Advance. Okay. So Cannes Film Festival, Party with Stars, tour France, plus 1 weekend, Canners rubbing elbows with celebrities. You even land a starring role. So you're a nurse. Okay, and your starting salary is at 3,100. You have $480 in savings. So that means that your starting cash is $480. Okay. All right. So before we start the turn, we have to figure out whether or not we want to borrow, repay, and they're going to give us different options. Okay. So for now, it says you may also use this time to repay liabilities or borrow money. So we have the option to borrow money and also repay. Okay. So which options do you want to choose first? Repaying or borrow?
Repay.
You want to start with repay? Okay. All right. So starting cash is $480. Total income is 3,100. Your total expenses, all right, and he's giving us what our expenses are to the left if you see it here. Our taxes is $600. Our home mortgage is $400. Our car loan payment is $100. Credit card payment is $90. Retail payment is at $50, and other expenses is $710. I'm telling you, paying bills is not fun, people. I'm just letting you know that. It's not fun. All right. It's a grown-up thing. You get tough skin, but you also feel, accomplished too when you have these responsibilities. So it's like it bounces back and forth. All right. But anyway, so your starting cash is at $480. Your total income again is at $3,100. So when you subtract that 3,000 from your total expenses, which is listed here, you're left off with your payday at $1,150. Now listen to me. Look at this below here. So even though these are your monthly expenses, this is what you owe in total. Okay, your liability. So your home mortgage is $47,000. You're paying $400 on a monthly basis. Your car loan is $5,000, but you're paying $100. Your credit cards is at $3,000, and you're paying $90 per month. And your retail debt is at $1,000. Okay, so let me move over here so we can look at it. This is all the way. Give me a second. So select a liability on your statement sheet to repay your debt. So which one do we want to pay first? Anyone?
Credit card.
Credit card? All right. It says you don't have enough cash to pay this loan. So we have $480. The loan amount is at 3,000.
So we can't pay anything at all. We just have to move forward.
So I think what we should have done was probably borrowed first just to generate enough cash.
Okay.
Okay. So let's try one more game, okay? Because
Do
I
you?
was
I'm
saying,
sorry, Professor Leon.
yes,
Are you doing it from the expenses or the liability?
it says from liability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all this right here. I think I was blocking it. That's why I have to move my picture out the way. So, all right. So, yeah, see right here, it says select a liability on your statement sheet to repay your debt. So, right now, our starting cash is at $480. So, what we should have done perhaps is probably borrowed. Would you agree? Since we didn't have enough cash? Yes? So quiet on this line. Would you agree? Should we have borrowed because right now we don't have enough to pay our expenses.
We have to borrow because we can't do anything with the money we have right now.
Exactly. So let's start again, okay? So we're gonna go from how much should we borrow? So the loan amount is in multiples of 1,000 at 10% interest per month. So right now we're at 1,000. How much do you think we should borrow to cover our expenses?
I have a question.
Yes.
Wouldn't the loan eventually become a liability itself? Something that we have to pay off again? Because if we already have car loans, like, well, what is the most responsible decision? Because taking out a loan to pay a loan that we already have, like, isn't it just a repeated cycle?
That's a, I love that. I love that question. Yeah. I mean, so yes, you're absolutely right. So it is a liability. Some call it consolidation. Like consolidation is actually a great tool to help minimize your payments. So even though you're going from one extreme to the next, is actually kind of saving you money, sort of. But it gives you a little more flexibility, if that makes sense.
Because the interest rates go up eventually. So, like, you want to prioritize the ones that have the quicker interest rates to then
Yeah.
follow the next ones.
Follow the next one. So, one of the tricks that I've seen that most clients use sometimes they like to get the no interest free, like for example, like credit card. So there's no interest free credit card. And what they'll do is, once that interest free promotion is done, they go to the next one, especially if it's like transferable, as far as your balance is concerned. So yes, that's a great question though. Yeah. Why go from one extreme to the next? So it's really more of just giving yourself a little more flexibility. Um, no one wants to owe, but sometimes you do have to borrow in order to make sure that you have enough cash flow. So, which leads us again. So, how much should we take out? We got about 2 minutes, 3 minutes left.
I think that we should do the retail debt because after we get rid of the debt, then we won't have to worry about it anymore.
So, how much should we do? Just leave it at 1,000?
Yeah, 1,000 just to get rid of the retail debt.
All right, so we're gonna say borrow. All right. Now we're at $1,480. Okay. So it says we got to buy a new cell phone. So we're gonna pay this. Okay. So we pay for a new cell phone. Do we want to repay or borrow? Should we go to repay now?
I think we should repay the loan that we just bought.
Okay. So we have $1,380. So you say you want to just repay the loan off?
Yeah.
So long story short, right? This is going to be like an ongoing cycle. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you take enough money out that can cover you, so you're not going back and forth like borrowing, right? Because right now, this is what happen. If we continue the game, we got to continue to borrow, pay it off, borrow, pay it off. So you want to take out enough money, kind of measure your expenses on a monthly basis, and take out an average what you think would be enough to kind of give you some wiggle room to not having to borrow so fast. Because right here, right now, we'll be borrowing every time we pay something, we got to borrow right back, right? And that's interest you're paying, and that's fees you're paying, unnecessarily. Okay.
So then for the liabilities that we did have, what amount of money would have been like good to make sure that we have that wiggle room?
So it's really based on your income, like how much you're saving. Like it didn't give us an opportunity to do that yet, but based on your income, what you're saving at the end of the month. I think what we did the practice before, actually, if you were rich, if you had $5,000 and you calculate all of your expenses, we were left with $880, if I'm not mistaken. So if you take a percentage of that and put it to the side and save it, that helps towards your bills in the long run. You know what I mean? Just that discipline. Okay. So listen, we're at 8:11, and I'm going to hopefully, I know this was a lot of information. I see a lot of people scratching their heads. Some people are like drained right now because this is not one of those topics that um give you energy. It kind of like has you thinking a lot, to be honest with you. So hopefully I didn't bore you to death with this, but I did wanted to educate you on, the operational piece, the investment piece, the financial piece, and cash flow. Okay. So we're at 8:12. Are there any questions? Now, how are you guys feeling right now about this? All honesty, transparency. How are you feeling about this? You feel like you learned something, or you feel like you didn't learn something?
I think I'm a lot more comfortable when it comes to, because that's definitely a big like something I always contemplated when it came to like how do you pay off stuff? Like you're taking a loan, you repay a loan that you just took, and like finding out that like what you just said, finding out the wiggle room and what's like important, and
Mhm.
specifically like for your income, that helped me a lot so much.
That's good. I'm happy. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility, you know. I would never sugarcoat it and just be like, hey, it's all smiles, but you do feel a sense of pride, being able to handle your responsibility. All right, whether of a business owner or as a person who is an employee and being successful in life, being able to manage your money. That's going to save you a lot of headache. If you're managing your money well, you have less headaches in the world. You know what I mean? You'll be able to enjoy life. You can travel. You can invest. You can help others. Invest in other businesses, other business ventures, any business ideas you have. You can do these things if you manage money well. Okay. All right. Any other questions before I switch it over to Miss Rosie or to Miss C? Everybody feels okay? All right. Yeah. Great job, everyone. Thank you for your participation. I know it was a lot of work, but you did a good job. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone. What you will see in the chat is the survey for you to complete for tonight. You are free to leave after the survey unless Miss Rosie has anything to go over with you.
Yes, before you all go, thank you once again, Professor L, aka my hubby. Great job tonight. If there are any questions for when you all are done and you think of anything you may want to ask, feel free to reach out. Professor L is also on the group chat for the class, so I'm sure he'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have hereafter. With regards to, there's just a couple of things really quickly. I know we have a couple minutes.
You're breaking up
We
a
have,
little bit, Rosie.
oh, I'm sorry. I think it's where I'm sitting. We have our college tour coming up next Friday. Roxy, I went away, so I wasn't able to reach out to your counselor, but I will certainly reach out to her. I know you guys are on vacation right now, so I'll make sure that I send out an email to her. I don't think it'll be a problem, but I'll certainly make mention to it and see how she feels about it. For anyone else who's interested, who's local and interested in participating, please reach out to me. I do believe I think Summer, you had an inquiry about it, and so I'm going to look into that as well. Haven't forgotten about you. My kids' spring break was last week, so we're just getting back yesterday, so I got a lot of catching up to do. For anyone else who is looking to participate in the college tour, please let me know. Also, for those of you who missed last week's end of course, or you missed the end of course for the fundamentals for business and entrepreneurship, you do need to make those classes up in order for you to complete the course. You all are pretty much 4 weeks away from completion. So don't allow those missed classes to keep you from moving forward and completing the series in its entirety. So anybody who has missed, and we'll send you, if you have a question about where you stand in terms of your attendance or participation, please reach out to us and we can send you a screenshot of your attendance and where you stand currently. I know we have some who have like perfect attendance actually right now. I believe Summer is one of our students with the perfect attendance. So great job, Summer. We have some who have only missed one class after summer, and then we have some who have missed quite a few classes. So there are makeup sessions that are required when you all do miss classes. So make sure that you are following up with Miss Diana. She does generally send out those emails, and it is required that you make up those sessions prior to the next class. So make sure you guys are doing that and staying up with that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We are working on on the international internship. We're working on everything, the planning for that. And right now it's looking pretty good for quite a few of you all to perhaps participate, right? But it really does, it's really based and determined on a host of criteria to include your participation, your attendance, and so on. So make sure you stay on top of that. Yes, the makeup session, thank you, Miss C, is April the 13th for H&T. So if you did not do your end of course presentation, you will be able to make it up next Monday, April the 13th. You do need to actually complete both the culinary component and the travel itinerary that is required for anyone who has to make it up, but you only need to present one. And if you have any questions concerning that, make sure that you reach out to Chef Dre, and he can, or Dr. Kendi, and one of them will be able to assist you, or even Miss Diana. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else that I can think of right now. I think that's pretty much it for the reminders. If I think of anything else, we could send you something through the chat. Yes, submit both projects by 4 p.m., but be prepared to only present one of the two. So you're either going to do your PowerPoint presentation for the travel itinerary, or you're going to do your video for the culinary piece, which is like a 1-minute edited video. But you do need to submit both by 4 p.m. And that's just for those who did not complete the end of course project. All right. Are there any questions from any of you all? Shh. Any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, complaints, or otherwise? Yes, Diana did email that information to you all, and she also sent it via the group chat. So make sure you guys are staying up with that as well. All right. I hope you all are having a phenomenal spring break for those of you who are on spring break. Thanks, Missy.
You're welcome.
After completing the course evaluation, are we free to leave?
Yes, Roxy.
Thank you. Goodbye.
If you
Have a
have
good
any other
night.
questions or anything else, yes, you are free to leave.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody.